mercy shall follow me all of the day of my life. Everybody say, goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the day of my life.
Jehovah de Mema, Olwebubeya, and everyone read them no. He sing he can do, cannot dig tata, Akakaya, Aka Jehovah de Mema. Let me see you lift up your hands and sing, Akakaya, yeah, Aka Jehovah de Mema, Olwebubeya. everything around. Jehovah, only you can say what no man can say. Jehovah, when you say a thing, it will surely come to pass. Jehovah, from January to December, only you can do this. It is not by our power, it is neither by might, oh Lord. Only you can see the end from the beginning, what no man can do. Jehovah said, only you can do what no man can do. Only you are Jehovah. Only you. Only you are God. Father, we worship you. Why don't you go ahead and worship the Lord? The only one who saw December from January. We only entered the January, but we could not see December. But our God saw December right from January. And now we are here in December. We don't deserve to see it. I tell you the fact. We are not righteous. Even if you are the richest man in the world, you don't deserve to see today. As we are singing right now, people are passing away. They are dying now, like now. They wish they could continue. But you are here, I am here. Only the Lord can do this. Why don't you lift up your hands and just worship the name of the Most High God? I will worship you forever, love you forever, because this God, you're too good. I will worship you forever, love you forever, because this God is too good. Oh, I will worship you, Lord.
I will worship you forever.
I will love you forever. Jesus, you're too good. Oh, I give myself away. Oh God, I give myself away so you can use me. Give myself away. It belongs to you. Away. I give myself away. So you I give myself away. Give myself away. Give myself away. So you can use me. It's not you be God, Almighty God. You know be mine. Oh, you know be mine. Oh, now rekele, now road to talk. Oh, make mine. you sing even though the Lord has been good to you? I will worship you forever. Love you forever. This God, we wait on you. Lord, we wait. We wait on you. Lord, we wait. We wait on you, Jesus. Oh, Lord, we wait on you. We wait on you, Lord. We wait, we wait. We wait on you. Lord, we wait on you. We wait on you. Lord, we wait on you.
If you know that He is the same God yesterday, today, and forever, and if truly God has kept you alive, can I hear a resounding hallelujah this morning?
Hallelujah.
I believe that we have young adults. We don't have elders. And even if we have the elders, the elderly ones in the house, I'm sure they want to give God much, much more. One more time, let me hear you shout hallelujah. Listen quickly before we do anything. Let me quickly tell you this. You see where I come from, where we have young adults, where we have youth in the house. When we shout, hey, you also do the same thing. Are you ready? Adults, young adults in the house, make some noise. Say, hey! We are getting there. We are getting there. Look at someone and say, we are getting there.
We are getting there.
It's like some of you are even afraid to even look at the person and say, we are getting there.
We are getting there.
One more time, I want you to shout that, hey, and let the next person who is sitting or standing beside you shake and tremble. Are you ready? Say, hey! Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Let me quickly remind you. Let me quickly say this. You are going to look at 2-3 people. Because we are in a new month, and today marks a new beginning. And the theme of this praise, 6 hours praise, says what? It will end in praise. Now you're going to give someone, 3 people or just 3 people, a high five and say that it will end in praise. Come on. 3 people, quickly. Move away from your seat. Say it will end in praise. It will definitely end in praise. Children of God, say, hey! We are getting there. Let me also let you know that even as we stand here right now, so many lives are lost. Do you believe that? Devil is a liar. We are in the sanctuary and not in the mortuary. So many lives are lost, and so many will still live. It is not a curse, but that is the way that the devil himself has orchestrated this earth's agenda. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. But because you and I, we are here standing in the sanctuary, we are grateful for life. How many of you are grateful for life? The Bible makes us to understand that in the presence there is what? Fullness of joy, and there are what? Pleasures forevermore. Come on, make some noise one more time. Say, hey! Is anybody afraid or scared to praise God this morning? For the fact that we are seeing a new month, it marks a new beginning. And I decree into your life that as we step into a new month, new things will begin to happen in your life. If that is your testimony, shout hallelujah. As those hands are lifted high, come on, lift those hands one more time. Lift those hands. And before we do anything, I will give you just 30 seconds to sing your own song to Jesus, the author and the finisher, the one who was, who is, and is to come, the first, the last, the bright as the morning star. Where I come from, I call him the Arugbo Ojo. Adagbamakbaroye, Ogbenu Mudiasola, Ogbenu Adelebo Sogo. The one who says yes, no man can say no. The one who says no, no man can say yes. The one who can kill, the one who can wake, the one who can give, the one who can take. If that is the same God that we worship this morning, lift up your hands towards the heaven and sing your song. If you don't know what song to sing, say, Father, thank you for the gift of life. I say thank you, Jesus. Open your mouth. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Come on. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Sing your own song this morning. Sing your own song. 20 more seconds. Hey! Come on, come on, come on. Don't stop, don't stop. Don't stand. Don't just look at me. 20 more seconds. Sing your song. Sing your song. Express yourself. Say the things that bother your heart. Say to Jesus this morning. Open your mouth and give him all the praise. Open your mouth and give him the thanks this morning. The Bible makes us to understand that he that standeth, that dwelleth in that secret place of the Most High, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Yes, we are in the sanctuary. Under his shadow we are right now. 10 more seconds, 10 more seconds. Don't just stand, don't just stand. Say something. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. Say something to your God this morning. Hey! Come on, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop, don't stop. 10 more seconds. Say something, say something. Sing your song, sing your song. Express yourself, open your hearts, and reveal those things in your heart to God this morning. Hey! Come on, come on, come on. 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds. Ọjọ́ mo rí jẹ́ Olúwa látọ̀dọ̀ rẹ wá. Ọjọ́ mo rí mu Olúwa látọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Àní ọjọ́ mo rí jẹ́ Olúwa látọ̀dọ̀ rẹ wá. Àní ọjọ́ mo rí mu bàbá mi o Olúwa látọ̀dọ̀ rẹ. Lift up your hands and say, Oní Ọlọ́run mi, ìran ni mo sì títí ayé mi. Àmín o. Mo yìn lógo. The Bible says that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods.
Who shall stand in his holy place, or who shall sit in that place? It says, who that hath clean hands, he that hath clean hands and pure heart, who has not lifted up his soul unto vanity nor sworn deceitfully, he shall receive a blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of our salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. He says, who is this King of glory? He says, it's the Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in the battle. So lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors. Ogiri songiri lagiri Herujeje oko farao Ganga ganga Kabiti kabiti Joro joro Fe Useni dalivi away. Onibu Ore Moni Baulaba Tifero Hey Onibu Moni Baulaba Tifero Hey Onibu You've done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. Help me sing. One more time I sing. You've done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. Everybody say. When you heal completely. I still can't hear you, children of God. Say, everybody. I can hear you. Come on, lift up your hands this morning. Say, say. What shall I render unto Jehovah? Everybody say, come on. For he has done so very much for me. Whose testimony is that this morning? I can hear you. Come on, open your mouth and sing. For he has done so very much for me. One more time, I can hear you. Listen. What shall I render to Jehovah? Everybody say, for he has done so very much for me. Say, what shall I render to Jehovah? For he has done so very much. Lift up your voice and sing. Hey, no, say. Was clothed with fire. Your voice resounds like thunder. We glorify your name. Say, I like my name. The Lord is high. is worthy to be praised? I say, who is worthy to be praised? So shall I be saved from my. Everybody say, blessed be. Shout hallelujah. I want to hear you. Shout hallelujah. Come on. Hallelujah. Shout hallelujah. Hallelujah. I still can't hear you. Shout hallelujah. Hey, hallelujah. Come on. Shout hallelujah. 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 Shout hallelujah. Children of God, hey! You are sleeping. Give someone next to you an elbow. Say, don't sleep, don't sleep. Are we ready to give God some praise? Are we ready to praise Him this morning? Come on, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, listen quickly. Because we are in a new month, and we want to praise Him. We want to usher our new month with what? Thanksgiving and praises. So you are going to give someone, let me just say 7 people. You say, my testimony is irreversible. A high five. Are you ready? Say, my testimony. 7 people, walk up to 7. Not someone sitting next to you. My testimony is irreversible. Hey! 7. To shout that name, the name above all other names. What is that name? Jesus. Okay, we are not going to shout it where we are standing. When you shout that name, you will move, you will run. Let the devil himself do what? Give you space. Even the next person sitting next to you, tell that person right now, oh, give me space, or give me space, or come on, give that person an elbow. Come on, say, give me space, give me space. I still can't see you. Are you ready? We are going to shout that name, and you will run like you're already into your glory. And believe me honestly, you are running into your glory. Are you ready? At the count of 3, what will you do? You will shout that name, Jesus. At the count of 3, are you ready? Are you ready? A 1, a 2, a 3, a go! We are getting there. Yes, we are warming up. 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. Hey! 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 Are you ready to shout that name? The name above all names. This was the same name that they shouted when they rounded the wall of Jericho. Are you ready? Believe me, when you shout that name, Jesus, barrenness will stop. Everything that is setting you back, that is pulling you down, will stop at the mention of what name? At the mention of what name? I can't hear you. At the mention of what name? 1, a 2, a 3, a go! How many to go? How many to go? How many to go? We are still warming up. 1 more to go. You will. What did I say? You will run into your what? Your glory, your prosperity, your success. It is not left to you. At this point, it is left to you. Are you ready? A 1, a 2, a 3, a go! Hey! Where glory must be to the Lord. In the you say,
Hallelujah.
Hey! What's that? We are getting there. I'm waiting for you. Me, I have not started. I'm waiting for you. Oh, your glory must be to the Lord. In the you say,
Hallelujah.
I'm still waiting for you. I'm still waiting for you. You are doing your own. Me, I have not started. If you know that you want God to bless you, it is the number of dance, the clap, everything you give unto God. In return, I will make Him bless you. For your glory must be to the Lord. In the highest.
Hallelujah.
Are we ready? Oya orúkọ tó gbà mí là o, tó múnú mi dùn tó gbà mí lẹ́rí ayọ̀. Aládé ìwúra mi yá. What? Orúkọ tó gbà mí là o, tó múnú mi dùn tó gbà mí lẹ́rí ayọ̀. Aládé ìwúra mi. I still can't see your dance. So where is your dance? Where is it? Hey, where? Money, orúkọ tó gbà mí là o, tó múnú mi dùn tó gbà mí lẹ́rí ayọ̀. Aládé. Ó ti mú mi gbàgbé ìyá. Àná sì mú mi gbàgbé. Kọ́yà everybody. Àṣewẹ́rẹ́. Kò tí mú mi. Ó tún mú mi gbàgbé. step will you give God? Let us see, let's see. When God blesses you, hey! To the house. Say, I can't hear you. You to the house. Shout, yay! When God blesses you, let me see your dance step. What will you give God? What will you give God? Show me. When God blesses you, when He makes your account full, what kind of dance step will you give God? Come on. Hey, come on. Oh yeah, my God is good. My God is good. Come on. Yeah, I can see it. Hey, my God is good. My God is good. Hey, my God is good. My God is good. Hey, my God is good. My God is good. Somebody worship, somebody praise. 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 Hey, worship, praise. Somebody worship, somebody praise. Worship, praise. Somebody worship, somebody praise. Hey, worship and praise. Somebody worship, somebody praise. Hey, worship and praise. Somebody worship, somebody praise. pray.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Come on, worship and pray.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Hey, worship and praise.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Hey, worship and praise.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Come on, worship and praise.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Come on. Hey. Yeah, everybody. 1, 2, bring it out. That's number one. Are you with me? If you are with me, say yay. Number two. When God blesses 30 billion, bring it out. Yeah? Number 2, when God blesses 30 billion in your account, what will you do? Hey, see Nigerians, we all love money. Okay, show me. If God blesses you now, what kind of dance step will you give God? Come here, come on, show me. Wait. Hey, break it up. Let my brother come and show us. When God blesses you, show me the dance step. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Come on.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Come on.
Somebody worship, somebody pray. Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Everybody.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Everybody.
Somebody worship, somebody pray.
Everybody.
Somebody worship,
Yes, sir. Come on. Where's my brother? Brother Shalako. Wait. Spirit. Hey. Okay. A young adult. Bring it out. A young adult has shown us what he can do. A married man now wants to show us that he's still in town. Okay, sir. When God blesses you, let's see the dance step. Are you ready? Morire, bow. Oshemi lore. 2, Oshemi lore. Ire. Hey, everybody. Hey, let's see. Morire, bow. Oshemi lore. Ire. Morire, bow. Hey, 1, 2, 3, everybody, hey. Morire, bow.
Oshemi lore. Ire. Orire go. Omore.
Hey, come on.
Omore.
Come on, bring it out. Where are the ladies? Are you a lady? No. Where are the ladies? The men are already showing you what they are capable of. Where are the ladies? Come. Let us see when God blesses them. What kind of dance step will they give God? Hey, listen. Okay, so they want to show us when God blesses them what they can do. Are you ready?
Mighty.
1, 2, hey. I can see though. dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
A winner dance, I can see it. Come on, come on. When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, dance, I dance the winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me dance, I dance like a winner man.
When you see me shake, I shake like a winner man.
When you see me shake, I shake like a winner man.
When you see me shake, I shake like a winner man.
When you see me shake, I shake like a winner man.
When you see me shout, I shout like a winner man.
When you see me shout, I shout like a winner man.
When you see me shout, I shout like a winner man.
When you see me shout,
Shout!
like a winner man.
Oh, winner man.
Hey, winner man.
A winner man.
Hey, winner man.
A winner man.
Hey, winner man.
Oh, winner man.
Hey, winner man.
A winner man.
Hey, winner man.
When you see me shake, I shake like
Hello?
a winner man.
Is this the transporter?
They say if you want to glimpse the future, just look behind you. I used to think that was bollocks. Now I realize. You can't outrun the past.
Street sign, well, I'm ready to cross. Try to find some freedom, but I'm already lost, and I owe the red light man. And I owe the to the people who get lost in the dark. Streets where I walk, and I see,
If you are with me, shout! Bring it on. This next song, I don't know who it is for, but we shall know if truly you want to praise God. The next song, we shall know if truly you want to praise God. Break it down. Are you ready? Oh yeah, man, you just logo. Hey! Oh yeah, man, you just logo. Every lie, man, you just logo. Sucking God, oh yeah, man, you just logo. Oh yeah, man, you just logo. Hey, oh yeah, man, you just logo. Every lie, man, you just logo. Oh no, no, every lie. 1, 2, hey. Hey, hey, me lie, me. Hey, me let it tell you to you. Hey, regular any lie. Walk on, Jesus, you have a vision. Oh, Sabina, lie. Baba, see, Baba.
májò máyọ̀ nílé rẹ̀ ò bàbá. Májò máyọ̀ nílé rẹ̀ ò bàbá. Hey! Oya ẹ wá wò ó jẹ́ sọ pé. Ọba tó mo lé mi ò rí irú ọba. Ọba tó. Ọba tó mo lé mi ò rí irú ọba. Ọba tó mo lé mi ò rí irú ọba. Ah, ó dé. Kasa. Ode, Omalade wúrọ̀ dé. Ode, Omalade wúrọ̀ dé. Rújà. Ẹni Olúwa ṣe lóore kó nawọ́ sókè. Ó ṣe mí o, ó ṣe mí o. I can't see your hands. I can't see you. Who is grateful? Who is grateful? I can't see your hand. Money, ẹni Olúwa ṣe lóore láti January títí February wọ March títí dé April ó àwọn May títí dé June to July, August, September, October, November, and we are in December. Hey, ẹni Olúwa ṣe lóore kó nawọ́ sókè. Ó ṣe mí o, ó ṣe mí o. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Jésù olùbárà. Hallelujah. Mo wá dúpẹ́ ènìyàn náà kọ́lé alájà mẹ́ta tó jáde láyé. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Jésù olùbárà. Olúwa máa ṣe wò, Olúwa máa ṣe wò. Olúwa máa ṣe wò. Okay. Hey. Àmọ́ pé wá mú ìwà o. Somebody shout hallelujah. Àmọ́ pé wá mú ìwà o bàbá pọ̀pẹ́. Pọ̀pẹ́ o, pọ̀pẹ́ sà. Ó yá sọ wípé carry me dey go, Jehovah carry me dey go, dey go, dey go. Carry me dey go, Jehovah carry me dey go, dey go, dey go.
Jesus. If you really love him, go ahead and celebrate Jesus. Give him the fruit of your lips. I say covenant keeping God. There is no one like you. Alpha and Omega. There is no one like you. Let me hear the church say covenant, covenant. There is no one like you. Come on, church, lift your voice and worship. Alpha and Omega, Jehovah. There is no one. Covenant keeping God. There is no one. Alpha and Omega. There is no one like you. I love his song that says, Ọlọ́run mi, Ọlọ́run mi, ìwọ lójú tí mo fi ríran, ìwọ ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ tí mo fi ṣílẹ̀kùn, ìwọ lórí tí mo ń kọ́, iná ayé ẹ ò jẹ́ kó jó mi. Kí ni mo ní tí mo lè mú wá o? Mo wólẹ̀, mo yíyan bàbá, Ọlọ́run mi, àkàkàyà, Jehovah ni mímá. Let me see you worship God this morning. Orebubeya, Keneruari nebemno. One more time, say Akakaya, Akakaya. Lift your voice and worship. Jehovah Mema. Orebubeya, Keneruari nebemno. You see, he can do.
you know be man, no. I say you be God, you know be man, no. Alpha and Omega, you be God. You be God. You be God. One more time, say, you be God, you know be man, no. I say, you be God, you know be man, no. Oh, yeah, ma, you be God. Hey, you be God. You be God. So we say, let your power flow. Say in this place. Say, let your healing come. Say in this place. We call for signs and wonders. Say in this place. Let your presence fall. Say in this place. Anointing, follow me.
Sing Baba, oh. One more time. Sing Baba, oh. Let it rain. Sing Baba, oh. We sing. In the same atmosphere, just begin to worship him. Begin to magnify his holy name. Reverence him for his worthy. Call him the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. The I am that I am, the ruler of all the earth. The Bible says, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors. That let the King of glory come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty. The Bible tells me that our God is a strong tower. The righteous run into and they are saved. Come on, call on his name, Jesus. Call the name above every other name. Call the name that is mighty to save. The name that is mighty to heal. The name that can deliver. The name that breaks every yoke. The name that is mighty. Just go ahead and worship him.
Hallelujah. Come on, can you just jam your hands together to the Lord? Come on, put those beautiful hands to the King of Kings. The one that has made you sin January. You've seen February. They thought you would not make it to March, but now here you are. The Lord that has seen you through April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Oh my God, we've made it. We have made it. And we are here tonight to put a smile on the face of God. If you are here to put a smile on the face of God, could you put your hands together for him? Could you lift those holy hands to him? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Father, you are holy. Jesus, there is no one like you. Hey. And here's our worship. Take joy in it, Lord, and make it your dwelling place. I want to put a smile on your face, and I present my heart to you. Lord, I present my heart to you. Holy are you, Lord, and all creation, they call you Lord. Hey, and worthy is your name. Come on, lift your hands to him. We worship your majesty. Awesome God, Lord, how great thou art. And you are Lord, mighty are your miracles. We're standing in awe of your holy name. And Lord, we bow, Lord, we worship you. You are the awesome God. How great you are. And you are Lord. Mighty are your miracles. We stand in awe of your holy name. And Lord, we bow and worship. your holy name. Lord, we bow and worship you. Say awesome God. Awesome God. You're awesome God. Say you alone. Mighty, mighty, mighty are miracles. Lord, standing low. Oh yes, Lord, we bow, we bow, we bow, we bow, we bow, we bow, we bow. Oh, awesome God, how great you are, and you are Lord, mighty are your miracles, standing awe of your holy name. Lord, we bow and worship you. There's nobody like you, Lord. Nobody like you, Lord. We say there's nobody like you, Lord. There's nobody like you, Lord. Oh, there's nobody like you, Lord. There's nobody like you, Lord. And you cry out. Nobody like you, Lord. Nobody like you, Lord. There's nobody like you, Lord. Nobody, 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 nobody. Say, nobody like our God. There's nobody like Jehovah. Say, nobody like you, Lord. There's nobody like you, Lord. Oh, there's nobody like you, Lord. Say, oh. Nobody. If you know that God has done something great for you, just say the Waymaker, miracle worker, the promise keeper, a light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Come on, say Waymaker, Waymaker, God. He's the Waymaker, hey, the one who has made a way for us. He has made us live today. He's a light in the darkness. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. He's the Waymaker, say. Oh, he's the promise keeper, a light in the darkness. Oh, that is who you are. Say, Waymaker, Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, oh, light in the darkness. That is who you are. You are here, moving in this place. We worship you, Lord. We worship you. You are here, turning lives around, Lord. We worship you, Lord. We worship you. Somebody say, Waymaker, Waymaker, hey. Oh yes, Lord. You the Waymaker, Lord. You are not done with us yet. You have more to do for us. You have
There's no such thing as a good or bad memory. There is no such thing as a good or bad memory. There's just a trained memory and an untrained memory. Does that make sense? Now, here's the thing. I grew up with these learning challenges. I had all these difficulties all through school, all through elementary, middle school, junior high, high school. I had all of these challenges. At the age of 9, I remember a teacher looking at me thinking I wasn't either smart enough to understand what she was saying or wasn't paying attention. She was talking to another adult, and she said, "That's the boy with the broken brain."
So when I was a kid, I can remember living nearby somebody who had the nicest cars. They had a beautiful house, and all the kids
Everything
always
the
had
light
brand new
touches
clothes and all the greatest toys and gadgets. And I can
It's
remember
our
one day
kingdom.
going up to my dad and saying, when I grow up,
But a
I want to be
king's
as
time
rich
as
as
ruler
them. And that is when my dad looked
rises
at me
and
and said that
falls
they
like-
are actually poor. And that was one of the most surprising moments of my entire life, that I realized that most people who look rich are actually broke, And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today in this video, is how rich people actually spend their money. And really, it's quite simple. I could summarize this in about 10 seconds. Rich people are busy being rich, while poor people are busy looking rich. But I want to give you guys 3 prime examples here of the 3 differences between how rich people spend their money and poor people spend their money on some of the largest life purchases, and then just buying unnecessary shit that you really do not need. So first of all, let's talk about the method of transportation. For a lot of people, this is your second largest expense next to your home. Let's go ahead and talk about the type of car a rich person drives versus the type of car a poor person drives. So for this example here, a rich person is going to buy a 3 to 5-year-old Toyota Camry, very reliable vehicle, and it's not a car that is expensive, and their car payment for this vehicle would be around $250 per month, and the insurance cost around $75. So the cost for that economy vehicle for this rich person is $325 per month. Now, on the other hand, a poor person is more concerned with how they look and what other people think of them, so they're going to buy a brand new vehicle, and the most popular luxury vehicle is a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Now, the monthly car payment for that car would be probably around $810 per month, and your insurance costs would be more, so we're going to assume $150 for insurance, giving this person an all-in vehicle cost of $960. So the poor person is spending almost $1,000 per month on the luxury vehicle, a depreciating asset, to impress their friends and family. Meanwhile, the rich person is spending significantly less and keeping that money in the bank. But just how much is this rich person saving, and what are they doing with the money they're saving? That's what we're going to discuss at the end of the video. Now let's talk about the second major purchase of your life, which is your home. What type of house does a rich person buy versus the type of house a poor person buys? A rich person is going to buy a small house. They understand that extra space is a waste of money. It's going to be more space to clean, more space to heat and cool, and the smaller your space is, the better. So they're going to buy a reasonably sized 2,000 square foot home. Now their mortgage for this house is going to be around $700 per month. They're going to be paying about $250 per month in taxes, and their utility bill is going to be another $250. So their all-in housing cost there is around $1,200 per month. Now a poor person, on the other hand, they want the big house. They want to keep up with the Joneses, and they're going to buy a huge house, a 4,000 square foot house, and as a result, their mortgage is going to be twice as expensive, a $1,400 mortgage now. And the taxes are going to be double that as well, a $500 a month tax bill, and they have more house to heat, more house to cool, and they're going to have a higher electric and utility bill at $500 per month. So that poor person is spending $2,400 a month on their housing expenses. So in order to keep up the status and to impress their friends and family, this poor person is paying twice as much for their all-in housing expenses compared to what the rich person is spending on a reasonably sized house. Now the third thing you see a lot of poor people spending money on is clothing. They want to wear designer jeans and designer clothes. Well, rich people understand that clothing is simply stuff to put on your body, and nobody gives a shit what the logo is on your shirt. I challenge you to go find somebody who is truly rich, a family member or a friend, and ask them how many Gucci belts that they own. I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be 0. 99% of the time, it is these poor people that are pretending to be rich that are buying designer clothes to fake the appearance of being wealthy or being rich. And to be honest, a lot of people are fooled by this, but when you start to look through this and understand that this is just a facade, that's when you begin to understand that these people are in reality poor and just trying to keep up appearances. So we're going to assume that the rich person in this example is not spending a ton of money on clothing. Maybe they go shopping twice a year, and if you average it out, they're spending about $20 a month on clothing. But the poor person wants to have the designer clothes, the designer handbags, and they're spending, let's say, $200 a month. And for some people, that could be their weekly clothing budget. But the difference there is that the rich person understands that clothing is simply something you cover your body with, and you wear it until it is no. So how much money is this rich clothing just to fake the appearance of being rich? Well, they're saving $635.
In a relationship, some men fall into one of 4 categories: a boy, a player, a confused man, and a good man. A boy. A boy will always be a boy regardless of his age. Growing up and growing old are never the same. Growing old is mandatory, while growing up is optional by choice. A boy cares less about what makes you happy as a woman. He knows very little about putting a home together, and he's not ready to learn. The woman will do the thinking and make decisions. He will be more concerned about his mode of dressing than his character. A boy is loose. He will kiss and tell, and talks about everything in his
Only because you made a way. Oh, you made a way. Oh, you made a way for us, Lord. You made a way. And we're standing here, oh God. Oh, we're standing here because we're standing up to make a way, Lord. And we're standing here, oh Lord, we're standing here because you made. Say you move a mountain and you cause the walls to fall with your power. You perform miracles. There is nothing that's impossible. And we're standing here only because you made. Yes, you move mountains and you cause walls to
relationship to everybody, and openly condemns his woman. A boy worries about what his mom thinks of him, even when it's time to focus on his family. A boy doesn't plan for the future and doesn't want to grow up. He doesn't understand the importance of responsibility. When his woman is upset, he gets angry. He doesn't know how to help her become calm. He's not a bad person, he's still a child. He would rather play around on his computer instead of participating with his family. You cannot put a bike engine in a car and expect the performance of a car. When a matured woman marries or dates a boy, she automatically becomes a girl. She will change from a peaceful, mature woman to a nagging young girl, and her friends will think she's going crazy. A boy gets easily intimidated by his woman's position, status, and feels insecure by her income. He believes he deserves respect because he thinks he is a man based on his age. It's difficult to communicate with a boy since he usually thinks he's right. He feels superior and thinks he's doing a woman a favor by dating or marrying her. A player. It's better to be single than date a player. No matter how much effort you invest in a relationship with a player, it most likely ends in heartbreak. A player is smart, selfish, and inconsiderate, and usually doesn't stay faithful to one woman. Most women fall for players because they appear attractive and presentable. Players have something extraordinary about them. He can be rich, famous, tall, handsome, romantic, talented, good in bed, and possess many qualities that a woman wants in a guy. He will sweep you off your feet at the beginning and make you believe you're the luckiest woman alive. He will tell you what you love to hear and show you what you love to see. He will make unbelievable promises. He will get into your head through your heart and take control of your thinking. He will spend any amount of money and effort to take you to bed, and after accomplishing his mission, the story changes. Any attention and affection you get from a player can be temporary. The first problem you'll encounter with him is his words will start to contradict his actions. Then his behavior and timing will change drastically. Then you will start wondering what you did wrong again. It's not you, it's him. A player's time is very limited because he's got a lot of women to share it with. It's hard to win a game with a player unless she's materialistic or never dates or marries for love. A player's heart has no space for love. He will marry a potential victim for selfish reasons or benefits and continue his games after marriage. He will tell terrific stories about his innocent wife just to get another woman to bed. A confused man. The problem with a confused man is he doesn't know what he wants. Relationship is like a door. You're either in or out. A confused man will put one foot in and one foot out. People will think you have a perfect relationship while you're actually not sure where you stand. A confused man can be a wonderful guy who doesn't play games. He will love you, give you all you want, but he will rarely commit to you. He will give you excuses all the time and put your life on hold. Not because he's bad, but because he has yet to figure out what he wants in his life. Of course, there is no rush in love, but there is a big difference between endurance and ignorance. You can only endure with a man who knows what he wants and where he's going in life. Endurance with a confused man can be risky and a complete waste of time. When a woman makes up her mind and decides to leave, a confused man will change and start making new promises and deadlines just to make her wait more. After a while, he goes back to his old ways, and for the woman, the waiting continues. One of life's greatest mistakes is to embark on a life journey with someone who is not going anywhere in life. A good man. A good man is the best gift any woman could get. He's a grown-up, matured man, regardless of his age, that is done playing games, ready to commit to just one woman, and be faithful to her. He will be responsible, trustworthy, love you and all that concerns you, and you will know it in your heart. He will be sensitive to your needs and will listen when you're upset. He will adore you, support you, and bring out the best in you. He will be consistent, and his words will match his actions. Good men don't make promises, they make commitments. You will be his best friend, his confidant. And you won't have to fight nor beg for his attention. He will laugh with you and cry with you. He will focus on your future and not complain about your past. When there's conflict, he will listen with compassion. If you're upset with him, he will work hard to understand why. He will carry you along with his plans. If you disagree with him, he will listen to your point of view. He will trust without doubt and will give when you most need it. Although he may not have a lot, he will be happy to share the little he has. Most women think good men are difficult to find. The truth is, there are millions of good men out there. Where are these good men? They're standing right behind the boys, players, and confused men. You just have to clear those away first so you can see them. You cannot date or marry a boy or a player and expect the treatment of a good man. Find Derek Hart at understandeachother.com. Join his dating and relationship course for women to help them understand men.
This is our second store. 46 tasks ago, these were bare walls. But 128 calls later, we...
Hey everyone, I am Peter from Top Think, and today we are going to learn about 20 psychology tricks that work on anyone. Now, let's begin. Number 1, don't say I think. If you want people to take the things you say seriously, you have to speak like your words are facts, not just opinions. Let's say you really like a new band, but are worried people are going to make fun of you for liking them. If you say, I think this band is pretty good, people will pick up on your hesitation and might see an opening to tease you for it. But by simply adjusting a few words, you can get a totally different reaction. If instead
exalted. You are exalted. You are exalted. Lift your voice and say, you are exalted.
Instead you say, this band is really great, you should listen to them sometime. They'll see that you're not only serious about your interests, but also have the confidence to back it up. Number 2, talking with eye contact. Maintaining eye contact while you talk is another easy trick to get people to pay attention to you. Even if you don't have much to say, you'll find that holding eye contact pushes others to actually listen and even agree with what you're saying, because you've assumed the more dominant role in the conversation. You can take it one step further by nodding whenever you make a point. You'd be surprised how often the other person will not only mirror your movements, but also change their opinions based on what you have to say. Number 3, mirroring others. Mirroring isn't only useful to get people to agree with you. Next time you're having a conversation with a stranger, subtly mirror their body language and attitude. If you get excited when they do, or start laughing when they do, you'll find that your overall likability will skyrocket. You know how you subconsciously copy someone's movements when you have a crush on them? Well, this trick conveys the same kind of positive message, just in reverse. Number 4, contagious yawning. Have you ever been sitting in class or riding the bus and felt like someone was staring at you, but could never seem to catch them in the act? Like every time you look back, they somehow avert their eyes just in time? Next time you're in the same room together, try yawning. Most times, when we see someone yawn, we get the impulse to yawn too. So, naturally, if they yawn right after you do, they were probably looking your way. Number 5, listen by paraphrasing. If you want a friend, partner, or even a complete stranger to feel special and important, you can use brief paraphrasing to make them think you're an amazing listener. Say your friend is telling you a story about how their annoying roommate borrowed their soap. Every so often, you can take whatever point they just made and say it back, only with a slightly different wording. If they say, they stole the soap, respond with, they just took it without asking. You're not actually saying anything new, but the other person will feel like you really care. Number 6, ask questions. Asking frequent questions will have a similar, positive effect because they show you care enough to want more information. It also gives people an excuse to talk about themselves for a while longer, which almost always works in your favor. Number 7, false dilemmas. If you need someone to do something they don't like helping you move or going to the dentist, you can present them with something called a false dilemma. Instead of saying, do you want to help me move? Say, would you rather help me move from 11 to 3 or 5 to 6? Most will automatically choose the easier one without realizing they had agreed to help you move in the first place. Keep in mind that this trick really only works for small favors, so don't expect people to start handing over money or anything like that. Number 8, exchanging stories. You can often get someone to be more open with you by first telling them something personal about yourself, but keep in mind that what you say matters. Instead of divulging the details of every tragedy you've ever experienced, tell them about a childhood memory or some other heartwarming but still personal story. Once you've set the tone of the conversation, be silent for a while, and you'll find that they'll tell you something personal in return. Number 9, food breaks tension. Food is far and away the most universal way to break tension and diffuse just about any conflict. Say 2 of your friends are arguing and it's making the whole situation uncomfortable for everybody. Casually inject food into the equation by suggesting a restaurant to go to or just starting to eat whatever food you have nearby. Before you know it, they will care way more about eating than they do about the actual fight. Number 10, cure nerves with food. You can do the same thing to yourself by eating a meal when you're feeling especially anxious. You'll find that eating reduces stress and provides a good distraction before a test or a job interview. Having said that, stress eating can lead to poor nutrition and portion control, so you should try chewing gum as a healthier way to soothe your nerves. Number 11, serial position effect. Try to memorize a list of 20 words in about 10 seconds. Now, write them down. If you're like the majority of people, you probably nailed the first few and the last few, but had some trouble in the middle. This is thanks to the serial position effect, which says that people remember the beginning and the end a lot better than whatever's in between. Use this to your advantage anytime you want to make a good impression on someone, like at a job interview or when you meet your new boss. Position yourself at the very beginning or the very end to make sure you always stand out from the crowd. Number 12, be active. If you're looking to get to know someone better, take them somewhere that gets your adrenaline pumping to make it easier to form stronger, lasting bonds. Things like going to an amusement park, playing a sport, or even rock climbing are all great options because the increased hormone activity in your brain naturally makes everyone happier and more enthusiastic. So instead of sitting around playing video games together, you should do something active to really establish a closer connection. Number 13, the laughing look. If you're curious about how a new friend feels about you, pay attention next time they start laughing, because most people, without even realizing it, turn towards the person they like the most while they laugh. Say you're with a group of people and everyone starts cracking up about a movie you all just saw. You can actually tell who is closest to who simply by watching who each person looks at when they're laughing. So, if your friend turns to you, it's safe to say you're their closest friend in the group. Number 14, use their name. This is another great way to make someone you just met feel important because it shows how intently you were listening and how focused you are on them. Instead of being yet another person to forget their name the moment after they say it, use their name to consistently reassure them that you will remember who they are. Number 15, embrace silence. After you ask someone a difficult question, avoid saying things like, "Oh, you don't have to answer that," or "Sorry, we can talk about something else." Instead, you should use the silence to your advantage by letting them be the ones to fill the space. 9 times out of 10, you'll end up getting a better answer simply because you waited for them to come around. Number 16, the halo effect. When we first meet someone, it's natural to make all kinds of assumptions about who they are. Help with these boxes. Most times, people will volunteer to help even if you never directly asked for it. Number 19, give a gift. To make sure you start off on the right foot with a stranger, you can lead with some kind of gift. Even if it's small and insignificant, a gift makes the other person feel like they matter to you, while also giving them something physical to remember you by. Number 20, lose to win. While this one may seem a bit backwards, you can actually get the better of most heated arguments by simply giving up, as long as you do it in the right way. If the other person is yelling, screaming, and desperately trying to make their points, give them a little smile and calmly say, "Yeah, maybe," or "You're probably right." You may not have won with a better argument, but the other person will walk away from that conversation feeling like they lost. Thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.
Somebody come on. Somebody shout hallelujah.
Flipping out now. No matter what I do, I'm gonna win. totally obsessed. Can't get it out of my head, it's taking over, I'ma let it, I'm all about it.
You're going to want to check this out. 7 differences between rich people and poor people. Not every rich person is born into a wealthy family. So how do so many well-off people reach their financial goals? A major difference between rich people and those who have money problems can be found in the way they think, act, and see the world. But before you learn about the 7 things that many affluent people do differently from the rest of the world, pay attention to the big red subscription button. As soon as you click it, you'll be taken to the bright side of life, where you'll find hundreds of videos. These videos contain the answers to almost any question you may have. There are also daily updates, so if you want to stay tuned, remember to turn on notifications. Alright, let's count down from number 7. Rich people don't try to show off their wealth. Look at these guys. One of them is rich, the other is poor. Can you guess which one is poor and which one is rich? Well, you might think that the wealthy one is the guy wearing pants from a famous designer, expensive jewelry, and a haughty smirk, right? Nope. This guy is just trying to look rich. But those who have money don't always flaunt their wealth. It may sound surprising, but there's no real need to buy a pair of $1,000 jeans if you can find a high-quality product that's 10 times cheaper. Wealthy people understand that and follow this strategy. And this doesn't just apply to clothes. On top of that, most rich people don't blindly follow the latest fashion trends or buy up new collections just because they're popular today. They realize that this isn't the best financial investment. And even more importantly, they don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone else. As for people with less money, some of them, just like our guy, are often eager to buy something that is trendy today. But at the same time, this product often costs a fortune. After such a purchase, those who don't have the mentality of a rich person often have to save on buying food until they get their next paycheck. There's a lot of truth in this statement. There are 3 kinds of people in the world: the haves, the have-nots, and the have-not paid for what they haves. Number 6. Rich people invest money in certain expensive items. While some rich people may pick cheaper, though still high-quality clothes over trendy items at an exorbitant price, there are things they don't save on. Coffee machine. Perhaps you love coffee. You can't live without drinking a cup or 2 a day. At the same time, you believe that a coffee machine is too expensive to purchase. Well, let's do some math. You pay between $2 and $5 for a cup of coffee. Okay, let's take $3.50 as the average price. If you buy at least 1 cup of coffee every day, this turns into about $1,300 per year. Uh-oh, why didn't we figure this out earlier? At the same time, a good coffee machine costs no more than $500. Isn't that an impressive difference? Induction stove. An induction stove costs twice as much as their electric fellows. But don't think that wealthy people only opt for induction stoves to make their kitchen look cool. The reason is that induction stoves are extremely efficient, and almost 90% of the energy produced goes into heating your food. As for electric stoves, their efficiency is only 70%. Gas stoves are the least effective. Only 40% of their energy is spent on heating food. One more benefit of induction stoves is that your meal is ready more quickly, and therefore less energy is consumed. LED light bulbs. Despite having many advantages, LED light bulbs are still not that popular. The reason for this is their high cost. But let's look at some numbers. An LED light bulb is 8 times more expensive than a regular incandescent bulb. On the other hand, an LED bulb consumes 10 times less electricity. And while your ordinary light bulb works for a maximum of 1,000 hours, an LED bulb has a service period of between 10,000 and 25,000 hours. This means that an LED light bulb is approximately 7 times more economical than an ordinary and cheap incandescent one. Energy-saving glass. Most people prefer not to overpay by buying energy-saving glass. After all, a window with such glass costs 50% to 80% more than a window with regular glass. But there's one thing you should take into consideration before making your final choice. 40% of the heat generated inside your home is lost thanks to low-quality windows. And with the money you spend on heating, it seems a bit unfair to have so much energy heating the outside of your house. As for energy-saving coating, depending on its style, it can reduce the transfer of heat through the glass by 75 to 90%. Now, you can calculate how much money you could save by having those advanced windows. Remember to include not only the excess electricity you use for heating your home, but also the electricity used by air conditioners to cool your home when it's hot outside. The great thing is that energy-saving glass works for keeping your home both warm and cool. Thermostatic shower faucet. At first, it might seem that the mechanism that regulates the temperature of the water with preset settings is an unnecessary extra. Surely, you're capable of turning on the hot water and regulating it yourself. This gadget also costs 3 to 4 times more than an ordinary faucet. On the other hand, a thermostatic shower faucet will start saving you money right away. You won't have to spend ages trying to get your preferred water temperature. In addition, you'll be able to turn off the water while you're lathering, and it will be the right temperature when you turn it on again. Wow! Is this how rich people's brains work? But wait, it gets even better. Number 5. Rich people make their money work for them, while poor people work for their money. Both poor and rich people work hard to earn money, but rich people know how to make their money work for them. They don't keep their income in savings accounts. They have funds in their budget that they can invest, and they do this regularly. Rich people sometimes have to sacrifice good shopping to invest money and receive much more at a later date. That's called delayed gratification. As for the less wealthy, they tend to spend all their money. This places them in a very unhappy, vicious circle. They work hard and they spend money. Then they take another job to be able to spend more, but it's still not enough. The more they earn, the more they spend. They start working on the weekend, and their life turns into a constant race of futile attempts to earn enough. Number 4. Rich people know how to manage their money. One more thing that makes most rich people stand out is their ability to manage money. They know their budget. They don't overspend. If they use a credit card, they do everything to avoid paying finance charges. Poor people, on the contrary, often live in a world of credit card bills. Most of them don't keep track of their money or plan a budget. They spend money, and when it's all gone, they tend to use
GG.ng. Find hundreds of landlords close to you renting property.
Why girls hate nice guys. But quickly before that, videos about psychology for nice guys, but it's completely true. And there's nothing that you or I can. Most girls, so it makes sense. Out of desperation. And when guys guess with their money, they often guess pretty big. A friend once told me that he had spent thousands of dollars on his girlfriend. That was a big relationship was going. He said that they had broken up. Why? I asked. She had cheated on him with many other guys, and he found out about it. He not only lost his girlfriend, but he also lost his money, and he had lost his patience. Of a nice guy. I love you as a friend, but I don't want to date you. You're too much of a nice guy. This all begs the question. I don't want to date you. you're too much of a nice guy. This all begs the question, why do girls hate nice guys? Well, there are basically 3 big reasons. The first one is that nice guys are usually fake. Now, this wasn't the case with my friend. He's actually a great guy. But many so-called nice guys have secret motives that have nothing to do with being nice. For example, a man might want to sleep with a woman, but he doesn't think that she wants to sleep with him. So what does he do? He pretends to be nice. He buys her flowers and chocolate and is there for her when she has problems. But does he really care about her well-being? No. He wants to sleep with her. And that is the definition of being fake. Another reason girls are not attracted to nice guys is because they're just inexperienced.
So, you've got a new Canon 11 Pro. It's 24 megapixel AI clear selfie. You could go on a journey.
The sun. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king. Remember.
Brainy Dose presents, if a woman has these 15 qualities, never let her go. People in long-term relationships will someday get to the point where they need to ask themselves, is this really the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? Is she really herself with class? Class has nothing herself with class. Class has nothing to do with the price tag on your outfit. Class is about the dignity you carry yourself with and the level of respect you show to those around you. And true class. People in long-term relationships will someday get to the point where they need to ask themselves, is this really the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? Is she really the one? Scientists all over the world herself with class. Class has nothing to do with the price tag on your outfit. Class is about the dignity you carry yourself with and the level of respect you show to those around you. Science says that she is kind and empathetic. Relationship. Number 5, she is kind and empathetic. Science says around you. Herself with class. Class has nothing to do with the price tag on your outfit. Class is about the dignity you carry yourself with and the level of respect you show to those around you. And true class and elegance shows. It's hard to miss a lady who's poised and polite to everyone. She far outshines the woman who's all decked out but can't treat others with respect. Number 3, she is honest and genuine. How long will you stay in a committed relationship with a beautiful liar? She compromises. It's easy to be committed in a relationship when it's going well, but life can't. Science says that she is kind and empathetic. Science says that the keys to a long and happy relationship are kindness, generosity, and understanding. In life, we need flaws.
The thing I like about Dubai is everything that they do, they sort of want to do it the best in the world.
Too many relationships only seem to consist of consistent. Being consistent means that her personality has not changed from what it was when you first met. What your partner will be like in number 8, she has a good relationship with her parents. If you want to know what your partner will be like in 30 years, look at their parents. Number 9, she holds similar values as you. Many times,
your name. We lift your name. We lift your name. We lift your name. Yes, we lift your name higher, higher. Eledumare ashore kari aye. Shout hallelujah.
Our value system comes from our upbringing. The things we find important, the things we believe in strongly, the way we treat others, and the way we treat ourselves. The two of you agree on some of the non-negotiable values each of you hold. It doesn't matter how attracted you are to someone or even how well you get along. If your values don't align, you will always be clashing in the long run. Number 10, she can move past jealousy. While some jealousy is natural in a relationship, it's important that she pursues her own. You need a healthy combination of